Hi and welcome. My name is Robert Hall. I'm with Cork Medical. I'm a product support specialist, and what I do is I help with the dealers in maintaining any questions on the device, troubleshooting techniques, better efficiency and user end on how to work with the Nissus device. Okay, we want to make sure that our device is ready. It's properly cleaned. We did that in a previous video, and we'll also have that available for you. And then we want to make sure that we have our proper tools that are present. You want to make sure you have the items listed, and you also want to make sure that you have your proper PPE for when you're working on the device, because when you open this device, we do not know what will be inside. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the rear housing from the device. Okay, so we want to remove the screws. There's 4 of them, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and you can go ahead and use a power screwdriver or just a screwdriver. Place the device down, and then we will go ahead and remove the screws. Now that we removed the screws, go ahead and separate the front and back housing gently. And you'll see here that it came apart fairly well. And we will go ahead, at this point, we want to disconnect the tubing. Okay, so we have a pressure valve here. And so we will disconnect this tubing here. This may come in handy where you can use your pliers and go ahead and disconnect that. There we go. And then on the other side, we have the pressure sensor. And you'll see here there's 2 nozzles. We want to just go ahead and remove that top. There we go. You can also use the pliers if need be, if it doesn't come off immediately. Now, our next step, we need to remove the wires. We have 3 wires that need to be disconnected. Top wire is the battery. Go ahead and remove that. Gently pull. That's all that is needed. Second wire here in the middle. This is to the pump. Go ahead and pull. It's removed. And then this one here, since we're not messing with the front housing, this is your charging cable. We can just go ahead and set this to the side. Once we've removed the wires and set the front housing aside, we're going to take a look at the rear housing here. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the Parker pump to get access to the battery in the back. We're going to go ahead and take our flathead. This will come in handy. And we're just going to reach this in here and start prying using leverage to get the pump out. Once we've got the leverage, we can then reach in there, grab the pump, and just allow all the tubing to still be on there. The one tubing we will have to remove is the inlet nozzle. We go ahead and remove that. And then this set, we can go ahead and set aside. Now we have access to the battery. At this point, you just go ahead and reach in there. Trying to get this out of here. You may need to get in here with your flathead and kind of work using leverage on the sides here just to get it loosened up. And once we've used the flathead to get that loosened, we can go ahead and just pull that out of there. Okay, and now the battery has been removed, and we can set that aside and use a new battery. Okay, the battery is removed. We will then go ahead and put on the double-sided sticky tape, and then go ahead and remove some of this in here with our flathead. All right, we remove that. We go ahead and grab our double-sided sticky tape. These will come with the battery when you purchase them separately. They will all come with the double-sided sticky tape. Just like that. And the battery orientation is actually fairly important. We want to make sure that the pigtail, or this cable here, is going to be on the left side of the actual nozzle. So we don't want it to be in there like this, okay? We want to make sure that it's on the opposite side of the inlet nozzle. So let's go ahead and put that in there. There we go. It's in there, and now we have to put the Parker pump back in. Okay, so we are now going to go ahead and reassemble the device. And first we want to take the tubing and the Parker pump and place this right here in the rear housing. And it should fit right where it went in, just like so. Okay, so the Parker pump is in there. You want to make sure that the double-sided sticky tape is still somewhat sticky. So give it a good press and hold on there, and allow that to just adhere again. And then we want to go ahead and take the tubing here and put that on our nozzle. So put that on there, and that's the Parker pump and the tubing. Next, I want to go over the front housing, which houses our PCB here. And we have our pressure valve, and we have our pressure sensor. Okay, so the next two tubings that we're going to be applying here is going to be on these two nozzles. So we have the top nozzle on the pressure valve. That's going to be getting tubing. And then we have our pressure sensor. And you'll see here there's two nozzles. And we have a rear nozzle and a front nozzle. The tubing will go on the front nozzle. Now, this is important because when we're finished here and we go to turn on the device and it's not working properly, that's going to be why. Something is amiss. Either the tubing has been put on a different nozzle, or the connectors to the instruments here, or the devices, is not properly on the PCB. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this situated. We're going to apply the first tubing here, okay, and you'll see this little curved tubing here. This is going to go on the pressure sensor, first nozzle, or the front. Okay, and we want to make sure that's on there fairly good. Put it on there. Okay, next step is the only tubing that's really left hanging right here. Okay, this goes onto the pressure valve. Okay, just like so. Once we've got those on there, it's as simple as connecting the battery and the Parker pump, or the pump. And you'll see we have the top and middle here. So we're just going to go ahead and apply those. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect the battery to the PCB here. And It only goes in one way. You really can't mess it up. So let's go ahead and connect that there. Connected. That's the battery. Middle one here. Okay. This will connect to the board here. Connected. Okay, so we have our battery connected, we have the pump connected, and we left on our charging cable here. Now the charging cable needs to get oriented in the proper way. So when we put this in here, we want to make sure that the cable, the circle, is more on the north side. Okay, and you'll see if I turn this there, it's more on the south side. So just make sure the circle's more on the north end here, and we slide that in there just like that, and then we're ready to put this together. Line up the edges, and then we will go ahead, snap it in, and then we'll start putting our screws back in. Okay, and we'll tighten down these screws. And there we have it, the device is put back together. Time for testing.